Good morning, Port St. Lucie. Welcome back to another episode of PSL Daily Download, your first stop to all things real estate in Port St. Lucie. Today is April 19th, 2024. Happy Friday. Hope you're starting your day well. Today, we're going to hit it fast. We're going to hit it hard. I'm going to touch on inventory, rates, the market, and what to expect next week. So you guys could stay tuned. All right, let's jump into inventory. So inventory increased from 2242 to 2252, an increase of 0.45% or 10 homes. Homes listed under 375 also increased from 538 to 544. I'll give you my thoughts on that in a minute. Homes listed above 375 increased slightly from 1702 to 1706. Homes that are currently on the market and reduced in price also increased just a little bit from 638 to 640, an increase of 0.31%. And then lastly, homes that are listed for rent decreased from 371 to 369. So the theme is inventory is increasing. Month to date, it has increased 1.35. Just on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, it had only increased 0.9. So we're seeing maybe a little bit of an acceleration. Not sure. We'll continue to track that. Maybe it's just the month, the cycle of the month, but we'll see where we end. The one thing that I am noticing that is increasing quite a bit is homes listed under 375. Now, this is my thought. This is my personal thought. I'm sure I'm wrong, and I hope that you guys could tell me I am if I am. But if I'm right, either way, I mean, let me know what you think about this theory. I have a feeling that many homes, because in our community in Port St. Lucie, homes tend to range in that tend to sell or list in that 400,000 price range. It is a common price, right? 415, 395, somewhere around that 400,000. I have a feeling, and we won't know until obviously the trend continues, but I have a feeling that those homes that are listed at 400 is slowly being reduced because we're seeing an increase in reduction in homes, actually 6.46% month to date, right over here. Um, I have a feeling that the homes that are being reduced are pushing their way into that bucket of under 375. And that's increasing that volume because in proportion, if the market increases 10%, I would expect, both buckets to increase 10% or something close to that. But it's 10% on the under 375 and negative 1.27, right? If you look at these two buckets right over here, on buckets above 375. And that's why I track 375. That's my magic number. I made that number in my mind up, but I think we're going to see a distinction in that price range. And maybe look, that number may move, but I think that's a good price range to track. Anyway, I have a feeling they're actually falling into that bucket, which is increasing the number of homes that are now under 375, which I'll be honest is a good thing only because we have an affordability issue, right? We have it nationwide, but we have it here in Port St. Lucie. So taxes are going up, insurance is going up. If we're able to get these prices a little bit lower and maybe into this bucket, we're going to see more activity, which is good for everybody, right? All right, except for the sellers. Let's be honest. All right, so I'm going to touch on this in a minute, and that's going to be one of the things I'm going to talk about that's coming next week that I'm actually working on. All right. So let's go to the rates. All right, so we are on Mortgage News Daily's daily rate survey. This is as of rates that where they ended yesterday at the close of yesterday, and the movement from being open to close again of yesterday. They had Mortgage News Daily had the 30-year fixed rate at 7.43, which means it increased 0.02%. They had the FHA 30-year fixed rate at 6.9, an increase of 0.03%. And again, you can see the VA and jumbos and all that. I won't go into that, but those are the two common loan types that I see in my business. So those are the ones that I try to track the most. And VA honestly just tracks very close to FHA, generally speaking. So we'll continue that. But I am getting updates from lenders already for the rates, and I'm noticing that there's about a 40% 0.25, or sorry, 25 basis point increase. Again, that is not on the rate, right? You're not going to see the rate change 25, but we saw pricing on that rate change 25 basis points. So if you have questions on that, give me a call and I might do a future video on that. But anyway, so we're going to go into the market, see where we're at. Again, mixed market. We've seen this. I think I mentioned this last week when that CPI report came out. And this tends to happen. I always see this. The report comes out, and then we see this crazy volatility, and it affects a lot of different ways. But we'll see. Let's go. Let's stay in our lane here. We're going to track the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield. It's at 4.615. That is a decrease of 0.032, which is a decrease of oh, look at that. It just changed on me. 0.753 before it changes again. So again, that kind of explains maybe the lower pricing this morning on mortgages, or at least on the 30-year fixed rate. So let's see where we're at here. Let's go to actually that's it. So we went over inventory, the rates, and the market. So here's what I'm working on, a couple things. So I'm working on, I'll say kind of like a teaser, but a kind of a category of homes that are actually, how can I say, the price of those homes are coming down. They're not depreciating, but the sale, they're actually losing money. Sellers are losing money on these homes. So again, the market goes up, and it's easy to say real estate always goes up, and it's very rare that it doesn't. But I'm going to show you a bucket of homes that is actually going down, and I'll show you that next week. So keep tuned for that. Two other things. Chair Jerome Powell spoke a couple days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. I think it was on Wednesday, maybe. He spoke, and he basically stated that inflation is just stickier than he expected, and inflation is stickier than the Fed generally expected. What that means for you and me is that these higher rates may be here for a longer period of time. Going into this year, the market had 6 or 7 rate cuts priced in. We're down to like 1, 2 price cuts, and some Feds are actually talking about maybe none. So, my thought is somewhere in the middle of that, and I'll explain to you maybe on another video. I gotta make a whole video on that one. I'm not sure everybody will agree with me, but I gotta make a video on that. Get my thoughts out there. All right, and then lastly, next week CPI, core CPE, not the CPI report, core CPE. The report comes out next week. That's another report that the Fed follows as tracking for inflation. That one doesn't include all the volatility stuff like oil or whatever that fluctuates maybe because of a war, overnight changes. And so that comes out next week. And I'm going to tell you, remember how I said last week that when the CPI came out, it was going to be volatile? Depending on where that one comes out, we might see more volatility. If that comes in, cooler than expected, we may see a drop in rates, right? Expectations, it just depends on how the market digests this and basically how it's going to drive rates. And unfortunately, we live in a world of rates right now. Why? Because we have so much debt. Everybody has debt. The government has debt. You got debt. I got debt. Everybody's got debt. So the interest rates drive everything, honestly. So, we'll see where that report comes out. But I expect, I don't know about you, I'm not a financial advisor, but whenever that comes out, I usually expect some volatility right before or after the announcement, as we saw with the CPI. Anyway, those are the things that are coming down the pike. Hopefully, you found some value in this video. If you did, please click the like and the subscribe button. Also, I'm going to be making that video, and I made a video actually a couple days ago, interviewing a local realtor, Mindy Hackett. I thought I love having a conversation with her, with a lot of you guys, but that was a great interview. It was my second interview that I've done, on camera, and you know, I don't know what you thought about it. I thought it was great. Hopefully, you found some value. If you haven't watched it, please see that I'm actually going to link it to this video here. So hopefully you catch that, and there'll be a part two, hopefully coming next week on that as well. So other than that, I hope you have a great Friday. I hope you have a great, successful weekend. If you're an agent, I hope you list and get some homes under contract. If you're a buyer, I hope you find the home that you're looking for. If you need my help, if you have questions regarding rates and financing options, things like that, please give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next week.